Yo, what's up? Today, finally, the Rzhev update dropped, and this means we get the new famous Rzhev campaign, also known as the Rzhev Meat Grinder, which was a series of battles lasting for roughly 1 year, involving millions of soldiers, with half of them being dead at the end, which is the reason why it's called the Meat Grinder. And this really cool, picturesque Russian city is the newest addition to the Eastern Front maps, and it's gonna start as a confrontation, as an invasion, and as a conquest version. Together with this, we also get highly needed, highly anticipated unlocks in the tech trees, and the most famous one possibly the American T20 Rifle, which is gonna be the American FG42 equivalent, meaning the Americans also have a full auto, full cartridge power rifle on high BR now. The Japanese get the KE7 machine gun, which is basically a Swiss bar version. Very much welcome too, very strong, especially considering how weak the Japanese machine guns are for the most part. Beyond that, the Soviets get a new T-34 version, one specialized on tank duels, meaning you have more armor than a normal T-34, and you have a highly cannon, absolutely easily penetrating every German tank you're gonna encounter. Long barrel, 57mm, really good. Also, they get the I-185 plane, which is a fighter plane with 2 heavy bombs and quite good flying characteristics, and 3 20mm cannons, also very much welcome because the Soviets didn't really have good fighter planes on high BR. Then the Germans get a Panzer 4G, which is okay, not that fancy. But what's absolutely fancy is that the Americans get a upgunned jumbo version. One with a deadly 76mm cannon. For those wondering, is 76mm much better than 75? Yes, because the shells are much deadlier against enemy tanks. Significantly deadlier. So yeah. And the Japanese also get the Shito tank on BR4, which is really cool because the Japanese also suffer from very bad tanks, and this is one of the few really good tanks. Though only problem is it competes with the Hori tank for slots, so yeah. Until BR4 and 5 are separated, as I'm demanding since 6 months, this isn't that much of an improvement, but still really good. Now beyond that, we also get graphical improvements across the whole board, together with optimization, meaning you're gonna get better graphics for free. You won't experience any FPS drops. Also, things like bipoding got improved, especially the graphics of bipoding. It looks more realistic now, very much welcome. You can customize some of your premium squads now, especially the vehicles, which is really cool. The tracks are distinguishable now, so once you learn the tracks, or learning to see, alright, is this a heavy tank, a small tank, or a truck? Or is it enemy tracks or friendly tracks? You will be quite a cool pathfinder analyzing tracks around the map. Also, some maps got improved regarding the spawn areas for vehicles and infantry. And we got a bunch of new missions. We got the Rzhev North invasion, which is also something I was demanding since a long time, because Rzhev is one of the best maps in the whole game. It's the better D-Day version, and it has a really cool end objective with the little castle chateau near to the forest. And now we're gonna start there, which is, well, better than starting always on the coast. Also, it's much better than the brain damaged reverse D-Day, which completely doesn't make that much sense, but Rzhev North reversed actually makes sense. And we get Alligator Creek Assault, which is, I guess, not smart, because Assault always sucks. Yeah, but okay. Alligator Creek, one of the best, possibly the best map in the Pacific, just got made worse. Alright, strange, but okay. And also, now whenever you use a Gold Order soldier, this Gold Order soldier is going to give your whole squad plus 20% experience, making it finally useful to get a bunch of Gold Order soldiers, especially if you're a new player. It's really worth it now to get them. Keep in mind, this doesn't stack. If you put multiple ones in a squad, you still stay with only plus 20%. And since all of these new weapons got unlocked, You might want to grind them quickly, unless you accumulated additional experience. But even if you have accumulated surplus XP that you can just spend now to instantly unlock all of the new stuff, you still might have to grind for the upgrades of these weapons. So keep in mind, my very good recommendation for you, all the gold order soldiers you have, put them into your squads. Well, put one of them into your squad that you need to grind. For example, I'm gonna have to grind, as everyone else, the Radio Man squad for the T20 to unlock this weapon and to upgrade this weapon. And this is gonna be a pain in the ass, it's gonna take quite long. And having an additional plus 20% booster that stacks with other boosters like Premium and so on, yeah, very much welcome. Yeah, I can't wait to get this. And also the DX12 got improved. I tried using DX12 over DX11 and it just reduced my FPS and fucked up my graphics. So maybe it got improved now. Also, your Radio Man squads that you're gonna play as an American right now, quite surely will be, as all Radio Man squads now, able to call in smoke artillery, and they can drop a supply crate with some goodies for your infantry teammates, which is very much welcome. Upgrade this in your blue technology tree and everything's fine. So yeah, now let's take a look at the new goodies that we actually unlocked, and especially at the new map. And we start with the Soviets, and they get an additional T-34. Yes, in addition to all the other ones, you get a third one in the new tech tree. And this one, as already explained, is ridiculously good when it comes to blowing up enemy tanks. And it's also very good when it comes to receiving penal damage, because he has 99mm on the front hull, which is insane. It's insane. It's even better than the KV-1, which is famous for being almost indestructible. The turret isn't as well armored, but still, the hull being much easier to hit than the turret is a significant upgrade, and the Soviet tanks usually have a weaker hull than they have a turret, which also comes with the doctrine that many Soviet tanks were built to be used in tank trenches where they're hiding and only the turret's sticking out, so basically as artillery. That's also one of the reasons you have such a good cannon in the standard T-34, the 76mm one. This T-34, really good. If you want to easily destroy all German tanks you're gonna encounter, no matter which one, this is the perfect toy for you. And the long cannon also looks really cool if you use it in game, so yeah. That's the first toy the Soviets get. The second toy is the new fighter plane. And this is a pure delight. As you can see, the flying characteristics aren't the best for a fighter. It's, for a BR5 fighter, slower than average. And it's turning around a bit slower than average too, but the climb rate is insanely good. It has almost 200 bullets for each of its 20mm cannons, which is really good too. And you get 2 heavy bombs. So yeah, this is an auto include into every Soviet lineup. It's just insanely good, insanely strong. And especially in the next first weeks, where first days, where many people already likely have unlocked the IL-10, but not the fighter. Most people will use attacker planes for the Soviets, since the Soviets have very few good fighters, and basically all of their good planes are attackers, like the IL-2s and the PE-3s and PE-2s. So yeah, this is quite an easy. If you have a limited amount of vehicle slots, this is an easy way to avoid competition with the planes. Then the Americans, first they get their insanely good jumbo. They get insanely good jumbo that replaces the Pershing in your squad. And well, you get the standard really good jumbo armor, which is significant because the Pershing can be easily dealt with by enemy Panthers, but this jumbo can't. This jumbo can't. Insanely strong thing, insanely strong tank. And unlike the previous jumbos, this jumbo can actually shoot back at the Panthers and deal with them. It used to be a stalemate, now there's no stalemate anymore, your jumbo is just straight up better than a Panther. And against Tigers, well, if it's a Tiger 1, you also get the upper hand. Only if it's a King Tiger, you're downgraded in the duel, but yeah, obviously everything is worse than a King Tiger in a straight up duel, so yeah. This is a very welcome toy, very much welcome. Now, Now there's no, like before this tank came up, you had to think about, do you want a Pershing for high power, for high penetration power against Tigers and similar things, or do you want a Jumbo, which is very nicely armored and also quite safe from bombing attacks, because unless the bombs land perfectly next to you, you're very safe. And except for extremely lucky or extremely good pilots, you won't be killed by rockets either. So this thing is insanely good. It even has some quite okay top armor on the turret, and the turret backside, like the turret is perfectly everywhere, 36 degrees, perfectly strongly armored. Like many players, especially unexperienced players, will try to Panzerfaust you in the turret. Panzerfaust has 180 penetration, yes, but from far away it won't be that effective. So yeah, this thing is insanely good. A very, very welcome addition. And of course the main attraction for the Americans, the T20 Rifle. You have to scroll very far away to find it. And here's the look without upgrades, since I can't upgrade it yet, because I don't have the... Well, I still have to grind the Radioman squad for the upgrade. This is... It looks like the Type Hey for the Japanese. It's also quite similar in philosophy. 20 round full auto, starts at full auto, unlike the FG42. Has humongous vertical recoil. And yeah... Oh yeah, still for a semi-auto rifle, okay, horizontal. Well, for a select fire rifle, okay, horizontal. Here's the most important part. Of course it will be worse than an FG42, because it doesn't make any sense historically for this weapon to have, or for any other weapon of its type, to have similarly good stats as an FG42 too. But still, 650 fire rate with this recoil is quite controllable. Yeah, I recommend to perk your soldiers very well for vertical recoil, and then you can actually start spraying enemies on mid-range. Short range should be quite easy, but mid-range is where it's hard. And on long range, just one-tap your enemies, or just snipe them with one shots, and everything will work out fine. So yeah, this is quite cool. What about the Germans? Well, they get the least out of all nations in this update. They only get a random tank, Panzer IV-G. Question is it better than the Panzer IV-J? Well, the pure stats show not really. It has more ammunition. Like, I think the cannon is better, the ammunition is a bit better, though the armament is slightly worse. It comes also earlier in the tech tree. So yeah, the big advantage is that if you are grinding, if you want to have a good BR3 tank, like all of these tanks coming out of BR2, the first one being the Stuck, which is by power level alone this BR2 tank. I'm waiting for this to be downgraded, because it doesn't make any sense at all for this to be a BR3. I played it myself for 2 weeks and to just basically LARP around, and it's literally a BR2 tank. You can't put this on BR3. So yeah, this won't give you power for BR3. This won't give you power level of BR3 either. It has a good cannon, but the armor is very weak. This is the first tank that really gives you a good armored tank with 80mm on the hull, making you impenetrable by Soviet, giving you significantly good armor against Soviet anti-tank rifles, and also against HMGs and bombs and similar things. So yeah, this is just the first good tank you get at BR3. That's also the only real significance this thing has. And then for the Japanese, who are also quite good winners of this update, you get the Shito. And if you compare it, obviously it will be worse than the Hori, though the Hori doesn't have a real turret. Since you can't swing it around, you can't look out of it with your commander. This is a proper tank with a proper turret, and you can do everything you can usually do with a tank, and it's mobile. Now, if you compare it to the previous tank, the NATO, yes, this sucks. Look at this. No turret, cannon, same tank, cannon as one of the previous tanks, and no armor at all. This tank sucks hard. And it got downgraded to BR3 where it belongs. The Shino is literally better than the NATO, basically every way, except for the cannon, but they're quite similar. Yeah, but yeah, against the, yeah, it's okay, but not that good. This tank is just a complete trap. Horribly weak cannon, because the damaged models are bad and enlisted. And if you compare this to the Shito, you see, oh, this is a proper tank. This is a good tank. Good speed, Great cannon. Really, yeah, you're gonna. I think you may be able to penetrate jumbos. You may be even able to penetrate jumbos with this because the cannon looks really, really long. Yeah, should be, if you know the weak spots of the jumbo, easily penetrable. Weak spots are in the machine gun port and in the center lower part of the hull. And if you can aim really good enough, well, I can actually show you. Now, if you look at the jumbo, you're gonna shoot into this machine gun port. He's gonna be instantly dead. Or you shoot into this center area. He's also gonna be instantly dead because this is where you can penetrate through into a bunch of. This way you can penetrate. And you can shoot straight into these ammunition racks if you shoot here in the center, yeah? Even if you shoot perfectly, like either if you shoot slightly from the side, you're gonna hit one of the racks. And if you don't, if you shoot perfectly from the front, you're gonna hit the engine. And if you have explosive filling, you're just gonna kill the whole crew. So yeah, this is the secret to killing jumbos. Or even better, if you just shoot through into this lower part of the hull. If you can aim there, then the jumbo is also dead. So yeah, that's a secret. And this Japanese tank should be able to do that. And then also they get a good machine gun, which is very much needed for the Japanese. Yeah, this is basically the Japanese bar. Looks like a bar. Has not the good size of a bar, but overall it's better than a bar. The recoil is really good. The speed is quite good. 25 bullets, more than a normal bar. And if you don't get a movement penalty, then it's literally like a bar. So yeah, this is also very much welcome. If you play this on BR3, I recommend to dual wield this with, as usual, the scope machine gun. Because then you have additional armor, additional ammunition. And you can use this as your first machine gun for long range engagements. And the KE7 for mid and short range engagements, and this is how you have your perfect Japanese army. So yeah, that's all the new swag, and of course we get lots of new graphics. A legend, as you can see on the screen, well, the weapon looks better animated. The light effects, yeah, like the weapon looks much shinier, and you can let's go into a hangar. Well, yeah, like the surface textures look better, the lighting looks a bit better, and this isn't even ultra, this is just high settings. So yeah, how the ultra settings gave me FPS drops, but the high settings gave me FPS as usual. So yeah, really good update, can't wait to play the new map more often, and I'm gonna upload later a good game from this new map because yeah, this is literally what everyone wants to play. And the new Rzhev map is open for all BRs, obviously only for the Soviets and the Germans, not for the other nations. So, let's go and have fun on the new map.